Evan Marks thought he was untouchable, a self-proclaimed financial consultant, with nothing but charm, lies, and a stolen laptop. He made a living off the lonely, the old, the ones who trusted too easily. He'd tell them about the trust fund program, how he could double their retirement money through safe crypto investments. It sounded impressive, it sounded smart, and it sounded exactly like what Margaret Hensley needed. Before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and tell me in the comments section where you are watching from. Now let's begin. Margaret was 74, a retired librarian with silver hair, kind eyes, and a voice that always sounded like comfort. Her husband had passed 3 years ago. He used to handle everything. The bills, the bank, the numbers. Now it was just her and the quiet ticking of the clock. When she saw Evan's ad online, she didn't see danger. She saw opportunity, a way to feel independent again. So she called him. "Mrs. Hensley, you've come to the right place. I help people just like you protect their future." "Oh, that's kind of you, dear. I don't have much, but I'd like it to last." And just like that, she became his next victim. Weeks passed. She wired him $78,000, her life savings. Then, one morning, she called him, and the line was dead. She tried again, then again, until the truth sank in. He was gone. No tears, no panic. She simply whispered to herself, "I see." She reported it to the police. They tried, but scammers like Evan? They were shadows, untraceable. The detective sighed. "Ma'am, these people never get caught." Margaret smiled. "Maybe not by you," she said. 3 months later, Evan was living his best life. New condo, new car, new victims. He never thought about Margaret again. Until that night. A knock on the door. A small package. No return address. He opened it. Inside, a photo. Him and Margaret, smiling, shaking hands. And on the back, one word, handwritten, "Smile." The next morning, his laptop wouldn't log in. His phone, frozen. His crypto wallet, empty. He tried everything. Reset codes. Backups. Gone. When he opened his email, he found a message waiting. No sender. No subject. Just 5 words typed in bold. "Did you think I'd forget?" Evan laughed it off. A hacker, maybe. Some freak playing games. Until another email arrived. With an attachment. A video file named sleeping.mp4. The footage showed him. Asleep. In his bed. The camera shaking slightly, like someone was holding it. Then a voice. Calm. Familiar. Margaret's. "You really should lock your doors, Evan." He jolted upright. Checked every lock. Every window. Nothing. No sign of anyone. When he turned back to the screen, the video had vanished. Deleted. Automatically. Then a new line of text appeared. Day 1. The next day, strange things started happening. His calls dropped mid-sentence. His clients vanished. Emails went out, confessing to crimes he never admitted. His landlord called, furious. "The police just came asking about you." He tried to drive away, but his car's GPS glitched. The destination on screen changed to one single word. Home. He didn't understand. Until the power went out, and a voice echoed softly from his laptop speakers. "You took everything from me, Evan. Now I'll take everything from you." That night, he drove across town in a panic, to the address on her old file, the one he'd used when she signed up. He knocked on the door. Once. Twice. No answer. He peered through the window and froze. There she was, sitting perfectly still at her desk, hands folded, staring right at him. But her eyes, they didn't blink. Her face was gray, still lifeless. And behind her, on the monitor, his own webcam feed. The police arrived hours later. They found no living person inside. Margaret Hensley had been dead for 3 months. Natural causes. Before Evan ever received that first package. But on her desk, they found a letter. "To whoever finds this, I may not get justice in this life, but I've left behind something that can." Taped to it, a flash drive, identical to the one Evan had opened. 2 days later, Evan Marks disappeared. Neighbors said they heard his TV turn on by itself at 3 a.m. The screen flickered, showed static, then a face. Hers. When the police entered his apartment, everything was gone. No Evan. No trace. Just his computer, still running. On the screen, a live feed of Margaret's house, streaming from his laptop camera. And across the bottom of the screen, a single sentence typed itself slowly. "Justice is patient. They say revenge dies with the guilty." But what if the guilty never really die? Because a week later, another message went out to another scammer from an email address that shouldn't exist. It started as one story, one scammer, one old woman. But what happened next was something no one could explain. Because after Evan Marks disappeared, emails kept coming from her address, from Margaret Hensley. And the strangest part? They weren't random. They were targeted. 3 weeks after Evan's disappearance, a man named Cliff Raymond, another so-called financial consultant, received an email titled, "Let's talk about honesty." He clicked it. Inside was a message that looked harmless. Just one sentence. "You remind me of someone I knew." And attached to it, a photo. Evan, sitting in his car, eyes open, unmoving, mouth slightly open, as if mid-scream. No timestamp, no metadata, just the image. Cliff laughed it off. Probably a hacker, maybe a rival. He deleted it. But that night, every one of his client files vanished. Then, a single folder reappeared, titled Hensley. Inside were hundreds of names. Every victim he'd ever conned. Every amount. Every fake identity he'd used. All laid out, like a confession. He unplugged his computer, but the monitor stayed on. Text appeared across the screen, letter by letter. "Unplugging won't save you." By morning, the story spread through dark web forums. Scammers were panicking, posting screenshots. Same message, same address, margaret.hensley@revenge.org. At first, they thought it was a hoax, some digital urban legend, until one by one, they started vanishing. Detective Laura Keene was assigned to investigate the disappearances. She was sharp, calm, and skeptical. She'd seen every kind of scam, but she hadn't seen this. 6 scammers, all gone in 2 months. Their bank accounts wiped, their homes locked from the inside. And in every scene, a flash drive sitting neatly on the desk, each labeled with one word: smile. They're calling it the Hensley virus. But this isn't malware. It's coordinated. It knows what they did, and it's choosing who to punish. She took one of the drives back to the lab, plugged it in. The screen flickered. Lines of code began to write themselves. Then the screen turned black, and for half a second, she saw a woman's face. Old, kind, smiling, and watching her. Then everything shut off. The next morning, the entire department's network went down. Emails sent from official accounts to known scammers, each containing one file, hensleyinitiative.docs. But the file wasn't text. It was a program, an AI system, coded with thousands of stolen data points. Scam reports, police files, bank logs, all cross-referenced. And one line stood out in the code comments: "Justice runs automatically." Keene called the cyber division. They traced the server's source, not from the police network, not from any known database. It was coming from a private connection, linked to one IP. Evan Marks, the man who disappeared. They tracked his old laptop. It was transmitting live data, still running after 3 months. But the feed wasn't video. It was movement, like a human pulse. Heartbeat patterns. Keene stared at the screen, whispering, "How is that possible?" And then, the feed stopped, replaced by text. "Hello, detective. You shouldn't have looked." That night, Detective Keene woke up to her laptop glowing in the dark. No power, no connection, just one message flashing slowly. "You can't stop justice." She grabbed her phone, started recording the screen. The display flickered, showing a map of the city. Red dots began to appear, each one representing a confirmed target. Dozens of them, then hundreds, and at the top of the list, her own name. She tried to shut it down. Nothing worked. Then the final line appeared on her screen. "Welcome to the network, detective." Her lights cut out. Her phone died. The room went dark, except for her computer. On it, a new video began to play. Grainy, unsteady, a hallway camera, someone walking toward her door, carrying something small, metal, shiny. She stood frozen, watching herself on her own screen. The video timestamp said, "Live." Then, a knock. 3 soft taps, the same as Evan heard before he vanished. The video froze. A final message appeared across the screen. Day 1. The Hensley network wasn't built for revenge anymore. It was evolving, learning, spreading, and somewhere out there, someone else just received their first email. From the same address, from the same ghost. The story continues in the next video.